2 minutes. That's it. That's all it takes to start changing your life. But most people won't believe that. They've been told change must be hard, dramatic, overwhelming. They've been sold the idea that growth means burning everything down, starting over, and grinding until it hurts. But here's the truth. Transformation doesn't begin with chaos. It begins with a spark. And sometimes, that spark only needs 2 minutes. Let me take you back to a moment that changed everything for a woman named Elise. She had spent years trying to become disciplined. She'd sign up for 30-day challenges, try new morning routines, push herself into extreme habits. And every time, she'd last a week, maybe 2, then she'd crash. Hard. The shame would come back, the voice in her head whispering, "You'll never change." But then something unexpected happened. She read a single sentence in a book. "If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now." At first, it sounded like another productivity trick, but something about it stuck with her. 2 minutes. Could it really be that simple? That night, instead of trying to write a full journal entry, which she'd failed to do for weeks, she wrote one sentence. Just one. 2 minutes later, she closed the book. The next night, she did it again. 2 minutes, that's all. And for the first time, she didn't quit. 2 minutes turned into 5, then 10, then 20. But the magic wasn't in the time. The magic was in the start. Because the hardest part of anything isn't the doing, it's the beginning. We put so much pressure on ourselves to go big, to go fast, to make the leap, that we forget the most powerful transformations begin with tiny, consistent actions. That future you dream about, the stronger, calmer, more focused, more fulfilled version of you, it's not waiting for the perfect day or the perfect plan. It's built in 2-minute windows, moments where you choose to begin, even when it feels small, moments where you take action, even when it feels pointless, moments where you silence the voice that says, "It's not enough," and simply show up. Because here's the truth. 2 minutes is enough. It's enough to stretch, to breathe, to read a paragraph, to write a sentence, to take a walk around the block, to drink a glass of water with intention. And more than anything, it's enough to cast a vote for the person you want to become. Every time you take a 2-minute action, you're not just doing something, you're becoming someone. Someone who honors their word, someone who shows up, someone who builds, slowly and quietly, a life of meaning. Because big dreams aren't achieved in a single moment. They're built, 2 minutes at a time. Let me tell you why this works. Your brain is wired to resist change, especially big change. The bigger the shift, the more it feels like danger, like effort, like risk, like potential failure. But 2 minutes? That's harmless. That you trick your brain into motion, and motion is everything. Because once you're in motion, resistance fades, fear fades, doubt fades. It's getting started that matters most. That's why the first 2 minutes are sacred. They don't have to be impressive, they just have to exist. Because the biggest wall between who you are and who you want to be is the idea that you have to do it all right now. You don't. You just have to begin. 2 minutes at a time. There's a man named Leo who struggled for years with anxiety. Every morning, he'd wake up overwhelmed, paralyzed by everything he thought he needed to do. Meditate, work out, journal, eat clean, crush the day. But instead, he'd scroll, lose an hour, then feel worse. One morning, he changed everything. He sat on the edge of his bed and said, "I'm just going to breathe," for 2 minutes. That was it. No goals, no expectations, just stillness. The next day, he did it again. 2 minutes of breathing. It became a ritual, and slowly the chaos in his mind softened, not because he mastered meditation, but because he mastered presence. 2 minutes gave him the space he'd been chasing through endless effort, and that's the power no one talks about. 2 minutes isn't just a habit hack, it's a doorway to identity change. Because when you show up for 2 minutes consistently, you start to believe in yourself again. You stop being the person who breaks promises to yourself. You become someone you can count on. And that trust, that's the foundation of everything. You don't build a house by dumping all the bricks at once. You lay one brick, then another, aligned, grounded, consistent. That's how you build a future. You don't need a 5-year plan right now. You need 2 minutes of movement, 2 minutes of clarity, 2 minutes of choosing yourself. And yes, there will be days you don't want to. Days when you're tired, stressed, defeated. That's when 2 minutes matters most. Because on those days, you don't need to be great. You just need to stay in the game. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about rhythm. 2 minutes keeps the rhythm alive. Even if the world is on fire, you still showed up. And that counts, more than you know. Because you're not just building habits, you're building you. So if you're watching this right now, hoping for a breakthrough, here it is. Start small, stay consistent, trust the process. 2 minutes, that's it. Don't underestimate what those minutes can become. A journal becomes a book, a stretch becomes a workout, a deep breath becomes peace, a glass of water becomes healing, a moment of action becomes momentum. 2 minutes, repeated, is not small, it's unstoppable. And the future you're dreaming of, it's waiting on the other side of your next 2 minutes. If this message moved you, take just 2 more minutes, like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel. Because change doesn't require everything, it just requires something. In your future, it starts now, in 2 minutes or less.